Hey, what's going on? Dr. Gonzo Boogie here again. Are you guys ready for another DVD and VHS update? Because I know I am. And I have some really cool stuff to show you guys in this video. Some of the stuff in here are birthday gifts, because my birthday was a week or so ago. It was actually January 22nd. And this guy turned 24 years old, so a little scary, because I'm getting a little older than I act. But I got some really cool stuff to show you guys, so I'm just going to start off with the DVDs like always. And first off here, I have a Shriek Show release. This is the Central Park Drifter, and it's also known as Graveyard Shift. And I've never seen this, but I picked this up because I got it for real cheap, like $1 at a used DVD and video game store. And it was a Shriek Show release, and the Shriek Show releases are a little harder to come by than they used to be, but they aren't expensive or anything like that. Even this you can get online brand new for like a couple bucks, but you know, it looked like a fun movie. It had something to do with vampires and stuff like that, so it looks cool. Here's some of the pictures on the back. Thought it looked pretty interesting. But this is the Central Park Drifter, and this movie is from the 80s, I think, the late 80s. I'm actually not seeing a date on here, but I do remember looking this one up, and I think it was like late 80s. But it's the Central Park Drifter. Next up is another cheesier looking movie, and this is Future Shock. I picked this up because it's got Bill Paxton in it, who you might know from Terminator or Aliens. Just an awesome actor. And this also has some actors from Blade Runner and other movies in it, so I thought this might be some fun, but mostly just picked this one out for Bill Paxton. Looks like it might be fun, but this is like a budget DVD type thing. But cool anyways. Got this one for cheap also. And next up is John Carpenter's Village of the Damned, which is this is a John Carpenter movie I've never seen. I used to have this on a John Carpenter 4-pack, but I actually never got around to seeing this one. I would just have to say the story in general doesn't really interest me too much. I'm not really big into movies that have kids as the killers. It just creeps me out a little bit, especially kids like that, Oompa Loompa looking little kids. But I don't know, John Carpenter's the man, one of the best directors in general in my opinion, so I am looking forward to checking this one out either way. Alright, next up is another sci-fi movie. This is Invasion of the Body Snatchers. This is the 70s one. And this has some cool actors in it. Jeff Goldblum is in this, Donald Sutherland is in this, and you know, a couple other cool classic sci-fi actors and just actors in general. I've seen this movie before, and it's pretty good. I remember not exactly liking the ending of this movie, but other than that, I thought it was a pretty good, well done science fiction movie. Next up, we have Cujo, and this is from, you know, the Stephen King story. This is the classic 80s adaptation of it, directed by Louis Tegu or something. I don't know, I'm horrible with pronouncing names, but it doesn't really matter, I guess, anyways. But this is a pretty good movie. It used to scare me a lot when I was a kid, because when I was really young, I used to be scared of dogs, like especially dogs like this that were trying to kill people. Now I don't really have any fear of dogs anymore or anything like that, unless they're crazy like this. But still, this is one of those movies that still I think is kind of scary to watch. But I also sort of get annoyed by the plot of this movie, because I feel like the mother and the kid trapped in the car could have maybe done a few more things to get out of that car and kill that dog, because they were stuck in there for so long that after a while it just almost started to get a little irritating to me. So this isn't one of my favorite Stephen King books or movies, but I picked it up anyways because I found it for a really good price, and this DVD is out of print now. It mostly goes for like $10 used now, so you know, a DVD like this, that's kind of expensive used, so I figured I'd pick it up anyways before it got even more out of print or whatever. Alright, next up is Beyond Reanimator, and this is the third in the Reanimator series and the last so far, and I hope it stays that way. I hope they do not remake Reanimator, just like I heard they're going to remake Suspiria. Horrible idea. The reason Suspiria works so well is because of Dario Argento's style. It just really gives that movie its character, and without that, it's just not even going to be slightly an interesting movie, in my opinion. And that's one thing that bothers me about Hollywood nowadays. They don't at all try to take any risks at all. And if they're not remaking a movie or making a comic book movie, which are already pre-existing stories, that's basically all Hollywood does now, is either remakes or those big comic book movies. And I just get tired of it. I think that there's a lot of good young directors out there, some really good original ideas, and that they should give them some more chances to make new classic movies. But that's just my opinion. But Beyond Reanimator is pretty good. I've seen this one before. This one came out in the early 2000s, I think, if not late 90s, something like that. But I thought this one was pretty good. It takes place at like a prison. So, you got Herbert West in like a prison setting and everything going on. It's pretty cool. I thought this was kind of a fun movie. Alright, next up is a cool Universal Monster 2-pack. I'm actually trying to collect all these 2-packs that Universal put out. And this one comes with Son of Frankenstein and Ghost of Frankenstein, which is the third and fourth films in the classic Universal Monster Frankenstein series. And these movies are just great. I would say Son of Frankenstein especially is just as good as the original Boris Karloff Frankenstein, and it's just as good as the sequel, Bride of Frankenstein. Because Bride of Frankenstein is one of the earliest horror sequels, but it's one of the best sequels ever. Just a great movie, almost better than the first Frankenstein. But I wouldn't, I hate to compare it like that, so I would just say it's a great movie on its own, The Bride of Frankenstein. Just great stuff. I love Universal Monster movies ever since I was a kid. They've been some of my favorite stuff to watch, so glad to finally get around to getting some of these cool 2-packs they put out a while ago. Alright, next up here is one of the Masters of Horror episodes, and this is the other one that Dario Argento directed. I have not seen this yet, but I've been told by a couple of my friends that it's pretty good, so looking forward to checking this one out. Pelts from Dario Argento. Next up is Friday the 13th Part 2. And if you've seen any of my other videos, you know the Friday the 13th series is my favorite slasher series, and just one of my favorite horror movie series in general. I think for a franchise that went on for a long time, the sequels are pretty good for that, because a lot of horror movie sequels are just kind of garbagey. So I've always thought the Friday the 13th series was actually a solid movie series. But I have the box set, and I used to have a 2-pack that included this movie, so I've had this movie on DVD a bunch of times. But this is actually the first time I've ever had the older Paramount release, which I just love these releases. They use the original movie posters, which is just awesome. That's what every DVD should do, in my opinion. The spines look really nice on these, just black with the Friday the 13th font in white. And then it's got the red Paramount symbol there. So I just really love the look of this, because I love using black, white, and red when I make designs or when I'm doing something like that, because I'm also a graphic designer in a sense. And yeah, just love the artwork on this and love this movie. Great sequel to the first Friday the 13th film. In my opinion, the best in the series are definitely the third and fourth, which I also think is a rare thing. Not a lot of times the third and fourth movies in the series are the best, but in my opinion, the third and fourth Friday the 13th really are the best. This third one really established Jason as the character with the hockey mask, and the fourth one was going to be the epic finale to the whole series. So I really feel like they did a good job with that one. Well, Friday the 13th Part 2 is classic. Great. This is the first one with Jason as the actual killer in it, so it's really good stuff here. And next up here, I actually picked up this really cool Anchor Bay edition. And again, if you've seen any of my other videos, you know I love to collect Anchor Bay horror movie releases. And this is the Bruce Campbell versus the Army of Darkness Director's Cut official bootleg edition that Anchor Bay put out in 2001. This is really cool. It comes with the Army of Darkness Director's Cut, which has some alternate scenes and a different ending than the theatrical cut, which I own that on DVD. I own the director's cut on DVD already, and I also have it on tape, so I really didn't need to buy this, but I always thought this was an interesting looking DVD release, so I always wanted to pick this one up, but I never felt like ordering it because I already own it, so I saw it at FYE, and I was like, why not? But this is really cool. I love the design on this. They sort of tried to give it like a bootleg DVD design with this paper bag like cover design thing on it, which I think is cool just because it's different. And the special features on here are on the same that you would find on any Anchor Bay release of the director's cut. So if you have the 2-pack or anything like that, it's the same special features, just commentary, some extra stuff and all that. But the insert for this is cool too, and they made the disc look like a blank CD, like a burnable DVD, so I thought that was pretty cool. And the insert, you know, they made it look like a piece of paper with chapter selections written out. So just, you know, a unique looking Anchor Bay release and an awesome addition to my Evil Dead collection. Alright, next up here for the DVDs is actually some of the stuff that I got for presents this year. I didn't get too much, but what I got I still was really happy with. This was actually sort of a present from my mom, but I picked it out and ordered it and everything, but she helped me get it. This is Dario Argento's Tenebrae, whatever it is. I think this is really cool. This is one of my favorite Argento movies. I used to have this on a 2-pack with Deep Red, which I still own because those Dario Argento gift set 2-packs are really rare, so I figured I would hold on to it anyway still for the Anchor Bay collection and just for the collection in general. But I think this is really nice and awesome DVD release, and this is out of print and really hard to find. I found this for a really good price on eBay, and it was still sealed when I got it in the mail, which is really awesome when you can find an Anchor Bay for a good price that's still sealed. Came with the insert, which I love. The insert, just a classic reproduction of the poster, and the disc art I really like too, so really happy with this. Another great addition to my Anchor Bay collection and my Dario Argento collection. And then this was a gift from my friend Mike, who also has a YouTube channel, and he posts updates and other stuff like that if you want to check it out. It's Mike Face 1. I'll put a link to it in the description for this video, but he got me Poltergeist 2 and 3 on this cool little 2-pack thing. And I thought this was pretty cool because actually last year on my birthday he had got me the first Poltergeist movie, which is one of my favorite Tobe Hooper movies, if not my favorite from him. I really love Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but Poltergeist I just think it's a really just good movie all around, just awesome. Just love everything about it. Just a fun movie. So I've actually never seen the sequels to the Poltergeist movies, or I just have no memory of ever watching them. I might have checked one out on TV at one point, but I really have no memories of ever watching these, so I'm looking forward to checking both of these out. Cool gift. Thanks, Mike, for this one. And the next two DVDs here were actually a gift from another YouTuber and a friend, Nikki Brand, and she gave me these two DVDs for my birthday. This one looks like it's a cartoon. Persepolis, I think, is the name of this one. And I don't know, I really don't know too much about this. I read the back of it and it sounds interesting. Iggy Pop, I guess, does a voice in this too, so definitely looking forward to checking this one out. And she also gave me the Shaun of the Dead right here, which is a classic comedy movie. I love this. I remember when this first came out, it was around the same time George A. Romero's Land of the Dead was coming out, so it was that whole revival and the zombie thing. Like, that was right before Walking Dead and the huge zombie boom that is going on now. And so this was right before that, but kind of the start of that too, when this movie came out. But it's just a really fun movie. It's like a British comedy film, and I remember when this first came out, I thought it was really cool and really funny, so happy to have this one on DVD finally. Thanks for those. Really cool gifts there. Alright, and that was it for the DVDs here, but I'm going to show you guys the tapes that I picked up. Alright, just have a small stack of tapes here. First off, and all these tapes were actually, what do you call them? Like, these were preview tapes. Promotional tapes, stuff like that. Like, I went to a thrift store and they had a bunch of like promotional tapes. I guess if you worked at a video store in the 80s or early 90s, you would get these to play in the video store or something like that. I'm not exactly sure what these were used for, but like screening tapes and promotional tapes. But I got some cool stuff anyways. First off, I picked up this really cool copy of Predator 2, which I just love the box art in this. But like I said, it says preview cassette, big letters at the top. Full-length feature film, includes previews of all CBS Fox video releases. So if it really has trailers for all the CBS Fox video release on this, then that's pretty cool for like around the time when this came out. I'm definitely looking forward to checking this out and seeing what this is all about. And next up is a screening cassette of some of the Amazing Stories episodes from the Steven Spielberg produced show Amazing Stories, which is kind of an anthology show, but it wasn't a horror anthology show. It dealt more with science fiction and fantasy stories. I used to watch this a lot when it was on the Sci-Fi Channel, back when the Sci-Fi Channel was actually good, when I was in high school, early on when I was in high school, and I remember watching some of the episodes from this, so I'm looking forward to checking these out again. This comes with 3 episodes, and it's just a cool tape. I love the orange on this. Orange is one of my favorite colors, so I think this is just a cool looking tape too. And I actually think this is actually more interesting, in my opinion, cool looking than the actual Amazing Story tapes you can buy. But this is book 5, and each cassette is like named after, it's like book 1, book 2, book 3. So this is the book 5 release, the screening cassette of it. So this is pretty cool. Definitely pumped to check that out. And the last for the tapes here is actually a screening promo release of Intimate Stranger with Debbie Harry, who's the lead singer of Blondie, and I'm a huge Blondie fan and a Debbie Harry fan. I love her movies, and I love the band Blondie, so I actually already own this on tape and DVD, but this was actually in better condition than the tape I already owned. Since it was this cool promo copy, I figured I'd pick it up anyways. Debbie Harry. This has Tim Thomerson in it too, from Trancers 1 and 2, and a couple other Full Moon movies. Just like a cheesy straight-to-video movie. The plot in the back says a struggling rock and roll singer, played by Debbie Harry, takes a job as a phone sex girl and makes a dangerous connection with a murderous psychopath. So that's kind of what the movie's about. The tagline is, she just turned on the wrong guy. So just, this is fun, and if you're a Debbie Harry fan, definitely just classic stuff right here. Intimate Stranger. And then last, for the update video this time around, is actually a CD I want to show you guys. And I just recently showed this in my Dario Argento video. Last week I posted up a video where I showed my whole Dario Argento collection, so definitely check that one out if you guys didn't check it out yet. And this is the soundtrack for Phenomena, which is one of my favorite Argento films, and I think it's one of the best soundtracks. This is an awesome soundtrack, really hard to find, really rare, because this isn't the Goblin soundtrack. There's 2 releases of this soundtrack. One just has the Goblin songs, which is cool, but it comes with a lot of songs that weren't in the film, like songs that the members of Goblin and the band Goblin had made around that time, but they weren't really in the movie. But it also featured the songs they had made that were featured in the movie. So it's cool if you're just trying to get the Goblin stuff. But I actually liked the entire soundtrack for Phenomenon, even the songs that Goblin didn't do. So this was the one that I wanted to get. And I had remembered seeing this at a record store years ago. That's kind of around the area I live in. So I went down there to check if they had it after I had watched Phenomenon like the day before, and they still had it, so I picked it up. I was really excited about this, and this is actually an import from Italy, so this is extremely hard to find. I actually tried to look this up on eBay or Amazon.com to see how much it was going for, and I couldn't find it, so I'm guessing that it's pretty rare. This is actually a 1987 CD release, so it came out just a couple years after the actual movie came out, the CD, so really cool 80s CD here too. And yeah, it's got some awesome stuff on it. Like, it's got the stuff from Goblin and the members of Goblin, but it also has some stuff from Motorhead and a couple other bands like Iron Maiden. Just a really solid, good soundtrack here. But that was the entire update this time around, and it had been a couple weeks since my last video, so I had a good stack of stuff here. So again, like always, I really hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, give it a thumbs up or leave a comment, and thanks for watching.